Hey, how's it going, everybody? Tall Tesla guy here. Today we're going to be talking about something that we've been talking about for a while, and that's the newly refreshed Tesla Model 3. It was the Project Highland Tesla Model 3, and we knew that it launched overseas. Well, we're starting to see it here in the United States. And then also everything we know about the Project Juniper, which is actually the refreshed Model Y. And then in the end, I'm going to talk about, if you're on the edge, you're looking to buy one, should you wait? Should you really wait? I know people get excited about new model years and everything like that, so we're going to dive into all that today. So either way, sit back, relax. You guys are watching the Tall Tesla Guy. So I'm going to dive right into this. I've been talking about this, it seems like nonstop, the Tesla Model 3. Now, the Tesla Model 3 is their original flagship sedan car, right? So this was the original one that came out back in 2018. Well, Tesla doesn't do a lot of refreshes. They don't do a lot of changes through the years, not like a traditional auto manufacturer does. What Tesla does is they do software changes, interior design changes, screen layout changes, stuff like that. To the average person, you're probably not going to notice the difference. However, if you are an enthusiast, you're going to be looking for those minor little tweaks. Well, what they did with the Model 3 finally, after 5 years being out, 6, 7 years being out there, they went in, redesigned the outside. I want to say completely if you're a follower of Tesla, but unfortunately it's not. They just put some more scoops in there, changed the lights, changed the cameras, things like that. But either way, we were excited about it, and I was excited about it for the potential changes that could come to the Tesla Model Y. Well, what happened though, when they launched this Model 3 refresh, this Project Highland, it was their secret code name for it, they launched it overseas. Giga Shanghai, Giga Berlin produced the car, and they weren't, as far as we knew, producing it in the United States yet. So what we kind of squelched our excitement for it a little bit. Well, recently we're realizing that they're actually retooling the factory, probably Fremont, but mainly Giga Austin, to produce this Tesla Model 3 refresh design. So what they're doing is they're slashing the prices on all their current Model 3s, and they're changing gears to produce this newly designed Model 3. Now, I can't say that I would make the switch to this Model 3. I didn't miss that much of the design on the Model 3 to go for that versus the Model Y, but I am excited about it. And I'm excited about it because of what it could do to the Model Y, right? So what they're going to do with the Model Y is take a lot of the same things that they did on the Model 3, because in general, the Tesla Model Y shares 80% of the same parts that the Model 3 does. So if you're thinking of it like that, it just makes sense for Tesla to change the way the Model Y or 3 looks, and then incorporate those changes into the Model Y. They were coding this secretly Project Juniper. Project Juniper was going to have, could be flip-flop, but I think it's Project Juniper. Project Juniper was going to be the redesign of the Model Y, and again, it was going to be produced overseas, and people found kind of leaked images of the car, what it might look like. Some of the repeater cameras changed, some of the scoops in the front, the lights. More importantly, though, you're getting interior changes. Now, the interior changes, I'm actually pretty excited about. I love the cameras, I love the styling on the outside, but it's not something that's gonna make me go out and buy a new one. So what they did though on the inside, they changed the trim around. They give you an option for something other than the wood dash, which in my mind is the only piece of wood in the car anyway, so I don't know why they had it to start with. But now you can get carbon fiber or black, probably an Alcantara, just like the trim on the side of the car. You get, they're claiming to be updated seats. You may get cooled seats down the road. Not sure on that. Updated steering wheel. There's no stocks on it anymore. No turn signals or anything like that. Everything you do to change the horn, the lights, the turn signals, it's all this haptic touch on the screen, on the steering wheel itself. People are saying they love it. I love the minimalistic design of the Tesla, so I would love the way that it looks and feels. It takes a minute to get used to because you have, I've got 25 years of muscle memory hitting that turn signal or changing the stocks, and you wouldn't have to do that anymore. You can also change the gear on the screen. The car will do it for you eventually, but you can change the gear on the screen to shift. You get the option to get a yoke steering wheel, maybe, which you couldn't currently do with the vehicle that I have, the Model Y that I have. And you also get a rear screen. Now, the rear screen is something that they had in the Model X and the Model S for the rear passengers to watch, I guess, Netflix while you drive, to control their own climate, which is a huge thing. Make it hot or cold back there, to turn on the seat heaters from the rear without having to ask the driver to do it. I'm excited about that part of it for my rear passengers to watch shows if they wanted to on some of those long drives. But in addition to that, there's some minor updates on the car itself in the interior, the screen, the change out, the layout, stuff like that. And that's stuff that you don't get in the model version that I have. Now, I can get an aftermarket screen for the back that'll do the climate, the seats, Netflix, all that kind of stuff. But I would love to have the factory one from Tesla, which is what you get with this new Model Y refresh, similar to the Model 3 refresh. And then also there's 2 more paint colors. You get that super, like really deep metallic-y red color and the silver, the metallic silver. Those were actually launched overseas. Giga Berlin, they did a commercial for it. They showed it. They debuted the 2 new colors, and people were excited. I was excited about it. I was excited about the changes. And they did this, I don't know, the launch as almost on the heels of launching the opportunity to wrap your car any color you wanted. So if you were just excited about those colors, well, Tesla all of a sudden said, hey, we'll wrap it for you in any other color. Now, I heard that the wrapping job was subpar to start with, but it's getting better as it goes forward. So if that's something that's super important to you, you're going to get that with the new refresh Model Y and the refresh Model 3. But what they're also doing as a result of it is heavily discounting their Model 3 inventory that they currently have and the Model Y inventory. Now, in the past, the car was produced as it was ordered. Basically, you go on there, you go online, you pick your configuration, your vehicle, and then they would start to produce your car. Now, economies of scale and production woes, things like that, they started producing more of the vehicles, not enough to have like a showroom or a dealership of cars sitting on the lot. There's also people that don't want it, their financing falls through before they can get it, stuff like that. So they have cars like that are sitting in their inventory, in their new inventory that you can buy. But what they're doing is taking a brand new Tesla Model Y, 2023, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, before this refresh, and they're heavily discounting. And on top of that, you get that $7,500 EV income or that EV tax credit, government tax credit. So you could get a Tesla Model Y brand new long range for under $40,000 or close to low $40,000s, which is huge considering mine was mid 50s. And I got it before the price spike a couple of years ago during COVID and stuff like that. So you have all these incentives to buy the car, to buy Teslas, to push them through. And they do this as a way to get rid of the current inventory so that you're actually going on there to buy the new stuff. Now, it always leads me back to, would I buy a new one? Would I sell the current one I have and buy a new one? And I would say that no, I won't. I would love to have the screen in the back. I would love to have the repeater cameras. Now, if something happens and we have a big used vehicle shortage and people are paying just exorbitant prices for it, I'll probably pull the trigger. I'm not going to lie to you. However, it's not something that makes me want to jump out and just sell mine right away and get a new one, get a new loan, everything like that. Current interest rates are terrible, and you team that up with just the carrying cost from initial registration, taxes, and things like that. It's just not worth it to me. However, if you were on the fence, I would say if you can wait a couple of months, you're going to get that newly refreshed Model Y, maybe. And I say a couple of months because it may be at the end of the year. You may have to wait quite a while. But if you can't, pull the trigger now. You're going to love the vehicle. I've never looked back on my Tesla Model Y, either one that I had. I never looked back at it. I love and appreciate the car every time I drive it. I enjoy the driving experience. And you're going to get that with a new one, with the current one, with the used one, with an old one. You're going to get it either way. So if you're thinking about doing it, pull that trigger. You're not going to regret it. But either way, more to come on Project Juniper, Project Highland, as they launch them in the United States. I'll show you guys and let you know everything that I find out when I find it out. But I really appreciate you guys tuning into the channel, watching the videos, following the process through life. And I hope you guys are finding a way to put a smile on your face, enjoying the weather if you can, if it's good where you are. And either way, I hope you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.